Welcome everybody to our Sunday night meeting. Things have been going really, really well. And tonight we're going to be talking about the $1.99 welcome packs, which I know that everybody kind of thinks, ooh, $1.99, because it sounds like a lot more than what we've always promoted. We've always promoted the 99 welcome pack. And I say 99, 199, meaning 133, 265 Canadian. I'm used to the old system in the States. So the 199 welcome pack, why Plexus is switching over to this and you see so much focus on this is because that's how it actually was back originally. When they first started in the business, they always did the 199 welcome pack, 265 welcome pack. And it was only when they were having like back office troubles and some issues came along where people kind of started wanting to almost appease their new people and like make it easier for them. And so they started to resort back to the $99 welcome pack. And you know, it's funny how trends happen, but one thing leads to another, and all of a sudden we're all doing $99, 133 welcome packs. And the whole business shifts, right? Because then other things happen, which I'll kind of explain in my notes here. But so why I really want to encourage you guys to shift your mindset from the 99, I'm going to call them the 133 and the 265. I'll refer to it as that because I think we're all Canadians here. Sorry. I would like for you to try and shift your mindset of almost ignoring the 133 pack. That's what I do. And I focus just solely on the 265 welcome pack. And that's what I lead out with. And the reason why is because our new people are going to be given a lot of different products to try. They're going to get them for the very best deal. And some of them are even reduced from the retail from up to 52% off. So that's a huge, huge savings when you think about it. And I don't know if you saw the graphics that I had done when we got our new welcome packs last week. I did the graphics up with the names of what was in them and the name of the welcome pack and then the price with the savings. And I don't know if you guys saved those in your notes or not, but if you haven't, it's a really, really great idea to go back and find those. It's under New Ambassador, I do believe, the topic of New Ambassador in our Freedom Revolution page. And copy those into your phone and make an album with them. I call mine recruiting. And that way you can just easily go back to your album, select the welcome pack that you want, and send that in Messenger to people. It's a great system to get involved into. And so also with that bigger welcome pack, your people are going to get better results because they're on more products, right? So they get that opportunity to try a lot of different things all at once. Over the month, and then they're probably going to select what they want to stay with. That doesn't mean they have to stick with all those products for the next month, but versus when we used to have the 133 pack going out to somebody might get, say it was the balance pack, the Slim, the Vital Biome, and the Bio Cleanse. They might get on those 3 products, and then they might go to reorder the next month, and they might say, you know what, I think it's the Slim that I like the best. And what happens? We get a bag of Slim as an order, as an ambassador, and it means nothing to us as business owners. Literally nothing. We get $0 for that. They would have been better off staying as a preferred customer, and we would have got our preferred customer bonus. So this way, if they're offered a lot of different things and you're doing your due diligence by doing your follow-up, you can say to them, you know, if they say, I don't want to spend that much money this coming month, you can say, you know what, how if you stick with the Slim, the X Factor, and the Ease, or the Slim and the Lean and maybe, you know, the Block. And that way it's almost kind of like you're showing them the Cadillac, but then they're reducing down to the economical car, right? So they've had the best, and now they're going to stick with, what they can afford. So that's going to give you better retention too for your business going forward, right? So the idea is to keep them on the products as long as possible, so that you keep that retention and they get to have good results too. A pack that I really like is the Beauty from Within pack, because it has the skincare, and then it has the Slim and the X Factor. So they're not going to need the skincare the next month, but they're probably going to stick with the bag of Slim and the X Factor, and maybe you could upsell them with a bag of Lean, for example, right? And then the next month they're going to get the, on month 2 or 3, they're going to get the skincare maybe, because they're going to be out of their skincare. Skincare gives you the 100 PV for the night and the day. So you can kind of see how this could really translate into being able to keep your retention going, as long as you're doing that follow-up and keeping really good contact with them. So how does this benefit us? Because we are all business owners. And as much as it benefits our new people, it also benefits us as business owners, because we're going to get the $25 business building bonus, which is $25 American, $33 Canadian, when we sell a 265 welcome pack. And then also on top of that, which is a new thing that Plexus has put out, is we're also going to be getting the Plexus Pay Points when we sell the 265 welcome pack. So that has 2 things. We're going to be getting the $15 off the Pay Point US, or $20 Canadian. Then also we're going to be getting the ranking point. So with your new ambassadors that are coming in getting the 265 welcome pack, you have some control over your ranking points, right? So say, for example, this month I brought in 3 265 welcome packs this month. So automatically my points came in with 15 points, right? That helps me gigantically in how my business is going, right? There might be times when I might have somebody in my downline on my level 1 or something who hasn't ordered for over a year. They've already been on the products. They're super easy to bring around to look at the 265 welcome pack, because they've already been on the products. You don't have to do that, what Plexus conversation is. So if you have team who have not ordered for over a month and they can rejoin again, let me know who they are, and I can give Plexus a call for you, and they can rejoin, and you can try and get them to purchase with the 265 welcome pack, okay?
You just said a month, Krista. I think you meant a year.
Oh, did I say a year? Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, you said a month.
And you know what, though? Re-engaging with people, it really works. I had somebody rejoin today with a double welcome pack, and she got MetaBurn and hunger control too.
Wow.
Yeah.
You already have that belief there with them, right? Maybe fell off the wagon because life happened and they weren't able to purchase. So it's always worth a try to keep going down through your downline. Somebody on here who is famous for that is Nicole Lockhart. She is always sifting down through her downline, giving them one more go. And it's amazing how many times they do re-engage though. So, I mean, it's well worth it, right? So this all for us translates that our paycheck is higher. We get control over our ranking points, however we're growing our business. So it's a win-win for us. And also your new person is going to follow your lead. So if you brought them in with a 265 welcome pack, what do you think they're going to suggest to their new people? A 265 welcome pack, right? Because it's almost going to be like, well, that's how I did it. Same as I advocate trial packs, because I came in on a trial pack. So you will do what you're brought in on. So that's a great thing that way. I talked about retention. Okay, I'm just going to follow my notes here because I really want to stay on track. Okay, so let's talk about when you're talking to people about what that looks like and how you can streamline your conversation so that you're not overwhelming people and sticking with a sort of system, okay? Because we want to stick within our system of when we're reaching out to people. And if you haven't got onto the system yet, if you're struggling in that area because it's a new thing, really try to be mindful when you're, instead of just racing in to answer because you're really excited to answer somebody, be mindful of always saying, okay, what system can I use first? What is the system? And so for the $199 welcome packs, when you're reaching out to people, you might say something like, hey, Carol, like I just was thinking of you today and was wondering, have you ever thought about giving Plexus a try? And so she might have no idea what Plexus is, or maybe she does. But if she says, you know, why don't you tell me a little bit about it? You can say, well, I'll tell you, it's a health and wellness company that we have these amazing welcome packs. And we have 3 welcome packs I'm going to suggest to you. Number 1 deals with gut health and overall energy. And then number 2, welcome pack helps with weight loss and smart meal planning. And number 3, we have a skincare welcome pack. Which one appeals to you? So by doing that, she's already investing in, she has to make a decision. Okay, so she might say, I like number 2, the one that helps me to lose weight and meal plan. Tell me about that one. So she's already verbalized to herself that that's the pack she wants. And psychologically, she's on the way to actually being invested in that decision, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to choose a welcome pack that has to do with weight loss and smart meal planning, which the New You welcome pack is really, really great. So instead of sending her, you know, like, I don't know how many welcome packs we have, but there's 9. I can't remember how many there is, but say there's 7 welcome packs. Instead of you sending her all 7 welcome pack images, you're only going to send the New You welcome pack, right? And you're going to say, I think this is the one that will be best for you, because she doesn't know anything about Plexus. And if you send her all these images of different welcome packs, it's just going to overwhelm her. And she might just say, I don't know. I can't decide. Like, it's just too much for me. I'm too busy right now. And because it's not that she's saying no to that. She's saying no to, I'm overwhelmed and I'm stressed out enough in life right now. I don't want to make this decision. Versus if you just say, I think this pack would be great for you. This seems like something you're really going to like. And give her a little blurb on it. You know, it's got a meal replacement. It's going to fully, replace a meal. And usually I'll say, and along with that, you're also feeding 14 other families, because, you know, that we're part of the philanthropy program. You're going to get great energy. You're going to feel amazing. I don't give details that are like long and drawn out. They're just bullet points of things, and choose maybe 5 things. You don't have to tell every single thing, right? You just have to give those highlights of what that welcome pack's going to do. Because she can figure out later, you can give more information later about all that stuff, but if you give reams and reams of information, and if I have to go like this when I look at somebody's post, I myself just glaze over because I have ADHD a little bit. So I like just point blank, right? So make it sweet and simple. So then ask them, does this appeal to you? You know, like you want some feedback from her, so you have to ask a question. Does this appeal to you? And so she says, yeah, sure. Don't say nothing else. Actually, get her right on the phone and sign her up. Don't let any time go in between. You got somebody that said yes, zip it. Get on the phone. Don't talk yourself out of a sale. Just get them signed up. And so then also, if they say no, though, you can do the feel, felt, found method. If she says, no, right now my budget is a little bit, tight right now, I can't afford it, you could always say, you know what, I felt the same way. But here's what I found is when I got on the products, I felt so amazing. And I shared them with a couple of friends, and I was actually able to get my products paid for. And so when you do the feel, felt, found method, you're appealing to her sympathy of how you feel. You have empathy for her, because we've all been there. I mean, probably very few of us just jumped right in without much thought. So we've all been there. But tell her what you found. What did you find from being on the product? And then, maybe that will turn her around. If she still says no, ask her, well, what is still holding you back? If I could show you how to make a little bit of extra income, what is holding you back? Well, I don't really want to sell to anybody. I felt the same way. You know what? Here's what I found. My friends needed these products, and I was able to show it to a couple of friends and make a little bit of extra money back. And that's how I got my products paid for. So you just kind of have to keep drilling. It's almost like you're drilling them down into getting to the root cause of things, because I can guarantee if she saw a Coach purse on sale for $300 and she'd been eyeing it, she'd come up with the money pretty quick. I can tell you she would, automatically. It's that you have to get to the root of why they're really thinking that, right? So, and then worst comes to worst, if she still is saying, no, really seriously, money's tight right now, then you can offer the economical version, right? The economy version, which is the 133 welcome pack. And you could say, that's totally great. I have this other pack that maybe you might be interested in. You're not going to get the same results as being on the bigger welcome pack, but it's a great start to start somewheres. Would you be interested in taking a look at that welcome pack? It's 133. So you've taken her from here to here, and this sounds a lot better now, but I can guarantee when she goes in and looks at the welcome packs and she sees only 3 products in the 133 and she sees like, I don't know, 6 in the other one, plus some skincare, she's probably going to be, you know, back at that Coach purse decision and saying, I think I can come up with the money because I really want some of those products, right? So, and then when they go through the sneak peek, they can then usually when they're going to sign up, if they sign up on their own, I've been lately signing my people up on my own because I just find it's easier. I don't like them to have to go through any glitches or anything. But when they get in there and look at the sneak peek, that's when usually the questions start. And that's where some great conversations can happen. And this past week, for example, I had a girl that she was going to go with the 265. She was all ready to go, went in to sign up on her own because she was independent. And then she was going to go to the 133. And I was like, oh, but the 265 would be so good for you. And so then she got looking, talked herself back out of the 133, back into the 265. So it's like, because they get in there and they get looking at that stuff. And I love that sneak peek screen. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but when somebody goes to enroll as an ambassador, that's the first screen that comes up. It's called sneak peek, and they can actually go in and look at all the welcome packs. But I really don't like to send my link to anybody until I've at least had a conversation with them about what the welcome packs are. Like I very rarely send my link until I've had a good conversation with somebody. It's not something I just throw that out there because they get on there and then you can't control the conversation after that. They've already made a decision, right? So hang on to your link as long as possible. That's what I always do. Okay, let me see. I think I covered that all. The other thing too is that we have, I'll probably turn the recording off so we can chat. I'll just continue it on. I might do another video over. So we have 4 days of That's How We Roll still left in February for free shipping on the 265 welcome packs. And then we're going to lead right into March with those 6 promo codes that we're getting. When you have your 100 PV in and your subscription turned on, or if you were a new ambassador in February with the 133 or 265 welcome pack with your subscription turned on, and you qualify for those 6 enrollments, and they'll come out on Friday, March the 1st, okay? So what you can do is make sure you reach out to your team, go into your back office and look to see what everybody's PV is. If you see somebody with a low PV under 100, you'll want to give them a message and say, listen, this is what we've got going on. You'll really want to look at bumping your order over because this is huge, monumental. You know, I don't think we've had free roll-up sign-ups for, I can't remember the last time. I know there was a half price one, but I can't remember. Do you remember, Julie? Are you trying to?
I know we had them there was a big slew of them right after the Canadian launch, but that's really the only time that we've ever seen free enrollments, right? So this is big.
It is big. Yeah. You really want to be working your team, like getting into your back office. Just go under business, rank up in points or points and rank up, and then scroll down and you'll see your team and go over to the PV and hit on the PV, and it will give you all the PVs that are there. So you can see where everybody is at on your team. And you really want to be reaching out to people. Like Tanya said, those conversations are great conversations with people who have been in Plexus before. They're easier conversations. You don't have to go through the whole gamut of things. And there could be some really great gems in there that just got off track. You know, I have a girl out in BC. She just came back. She's on my 3rd level, actually. And she's ready to roll. And I reached out to her in the summertime just on a whim, just say, hey, how you doing? I haven't talked to you for a while. And she's now ready to go with the business. So just because somebody said, you know, no, turned off a long time ago, that does not mean no forever. Like, it's the same as when we have new people joining us. So what did I want to say? Oh, yeah. How we roll. We have 4 days left of that with the free shipping on the 265 welcome packs. And don't wait for the March codes to do your business, because you actually really want your new people to get these 6 codes also, right? So you want those. I would be working extra hard on the next 4 days to get your new people those codes, okay? Because you can even give free membership now to those people. I know some people don't like giving out pay-in for things. I've done it many times. I always try to make it a good business deal. So I'll run through it. What that looks like is, because we have with how we roll, we're getting double points on the 265 welcome pack. Instead of getting the $25 or 32 Canadian, we're actually getting double that, which is going to be like $66 or something like that. Yes, around $66. So if you give free membership, it's $53. You're still making money, plus you're still getting your ranking points and your profit sharing points, right? So it's a win-win. You're still making about $32 if you give free membership to people. So if that's what you need to get some people off the fence, and are you saying something, Julie? Oh, your screen went green. I thought you had some input. You always have good input. So you're still making money. And to me, I've always found that when you're building, in what I call pioneer days of building your team, you have to spend money to make money. And if that's what it takes to get somebody off the fence and get them interested, then by all means do it. As long as you don't go behind financially. Don't go behind financially. That's crazy. And never buy a welcome pack for somebody. I don't think I've ever done that. I don't think. I'd have to really think hard. But I know definitely I've paid for memberships before. And the other thing about that is that as long as when you bring these people in and you've done all that, you've invested all that money into them, you're following up with them really good. So we talked about last week that new welcome email that's in our back file section of Freedom Revolution, and the Launching Strong guide. Those are great tools for following up with people, that at least you did your due diligence with follow-up, and they have a tool in their hand that if they told you they didn't want to do business, but that's how I got curious, was I read the email. I bought into the email. So, and you never know when somebody's going to see that comp plan or the income disclosure, and they're going to be like, oh my goodness, what is this? Like, I can do that much? And then they'll ask questions maybe, right? So don't not send that email. I had a girl join this week she's from another company, and she asked me, please don't put me on the team page. Please don't, announce that I'm doing this, blah, blah, blah. And I said, oh no, absolutely, I would never. But I said, my responsibility is, as a ambassador, is I have to send you an email that's going to have all of our stuff in it and my Launching Strong guide. I said, that goes out to every single one of my people. I said, it's up to you if you want to read it or not. but I said, that's my system that I work with. So I said, you will be getting that email from me so you can do what you want with it. So 9 tenths out of 10, I bet you she read it. Anyways, that's doing your part, right? Because when I send that email out, I kind of feel like, whew, I've kind of like, crossed a big hurdle with them of getting something into their hands, right? If they say no, they don't want to meet up with their virtual office, or if they say no, they don't want to sip and see, you've done your job. You've done your job. That's all you can do. Okay. I'm going to open it up for questions. And somebody had a question, Vicky. Does the subscription need to be 100 PV also? Yes, it does. Yeah, it does. At least 100 PV. If you just want to unmute when you have a question, go ahead. Anybody? I think Nicole had a little story to tell too, because she had a 265 welcome pack. Do you want to tell your story, Nicole? Oh, do you want to unmute you?
No,
Oh,
I got it. I think I got it.
awesome. Yeah.
No, tonight I had, Krista said about going down to your back office. I actually didn't even have to go down to my back office for this one. I just posted something tonight, and one of my old ambassadors, she's a good friend of mine from down east. Krista knows her. We hung out childhood. She was taking products and then just stopped, and crickets. I hadn't heard from her in a long time. And she messaged me tonight and said that she was ready to start back up again. Asked me what she needed to do, and I didn't send her anything but the 265 packs. I sent her pictures of those and asked her which one she wanted, and she said, you choose for me, add the MetaBurn, and she's signing up tonight.
Awesome.
So,
woohoo.
Yeah. I didn't give her the option. I just told her that was the one she needed, and she listened.
That's awesome. People are so busy, they don't want to have to make a big decision. They're so busy. Yeah.
And
so
she's all for me signing up for it. She's like, I love anything that saves me time. You sign up, do it all for me. Just let me know when it's done.
good.
So,
That's awesome. Congratulations.
yeah, that was an easy one.
Yeah. Was it hard to send the 265 welcome pack? Did you have
No, I didn't even look at the 199 ones. I just went in and clicked on them all.
Yeah.
And luckily she just looked and said, oh, I don't know which one I want, which one's best. And I told her which one I asked you and suggested that one. And she's like, yeah, give me that one in the MetaBurn and sign me up.
That's so great. So great. Yeah. So it's all a mindset. It's us either wanting to get them to sign up very quickly, or it's us feeling bad that because it seems like a lot of money, but the value for what they're getting truly is a great value. I think it's almost a shame not to offer that one, right? And then when you factor into the meal replacements are saving on groceries. That's how I like to look at that too. Saving time and grocery money. So, it's a win-win. Does anybody else have any questions?
Krista, where do you find the material for these welcome packs to send to people?
Did you see the pictures that I had put on the Freedom Revolution team page?
No, I must not have. I'll have to go check that out.
Yeah, I'll take you.
It's
Okay.
also in your back office too.
Yeah, I went in the
it.
back. Yeah, I couldn't find it
In
there.
tools, I think it is.
Okay.
I went and got it a long time ago, but
it's under, if you go under the library resource and then recruiting, you'll find it there. So usually what I'll do is I'll print the welcome packs off and I keep them in my binder too. So
it's under Training Center and Resource Library.
And then is it under recruiting, Mal?
I'm looking, recruiting.
Way at the bottom.
Would it be it's not opportunity brochure?
No. You scroll down to the bottom, I think.
Business resources. It's funny because I downloaded it and saved it on my desktop, and now I can't find it.
It's almost at the very bottom, and it says welcome pack combo, and there's also just the regular combos.
Okay. All right. Okay. It's in product training, and it's called Welcome Packs Flyer.
Oh, is it in the product train? I'll have to get them to move that up to recruiting.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Eh?
That is weird. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I think I always go on the American side, and I think on
Thank
the
you.
American side, it's under
You're
recruiting.
welcome. Which would make
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
So that's something else to kind of be doing too, is going over to the American side, because they have a lot of other things, and our stuff is basically exactly the same. But we have to wait for a certain amount of regulations through Canada before we can use some of the things that they use. But I love the American side of things. So what I'll do is I'll post the verbiage, and I'll tag you, Paul, in the graphics, but then I'll also put the graphics underneath the verbiage too again. And we have topic tabs in the Freedom Revolution team page where you can find different topics, and the new ambassadors under there for training.
And what I also did, I didn't see your graphs, which probably would have been faster if I would have grabbed your graphs. But what I did is I took that flyer and I cropped the 265 welcome packs so that I can send just that instead of sending the flyers and then they see the 132.
Yes. Yeah, that's good. Sounds good. And for verbiage on, like, if you want to, know what to send, like these product card things that came in our welcome packs, they're great for just little one-liners, So.
And
Okay.
even I don't know if, are we all on the dough thing, or was it just certain people?
You can talk about that if you like.
Okay. No, I just find the scripts. I'm somebody that I don't necessarily copy and paste, but sometimes I need to read something, or somebody needs, Tanya knows this because she does that. She sends it to me and I read it and then I can write it, kind of thing, because it jogs my memory or jogs my mind, my creativity. So I find that the scripts in the Dough app, or whatever it's called, is amazing, because I don't even copy and paste it. I just go and I read a few of them, and then all of a sudden my creative juice comes out, and then I'm able to do a script. Otherwise I'd be staring at the screen. I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to say this time? Like, I don't know what to say. And I love that it's divided by category.
Yes.
Like sharing Plexus, new customers, potentials. It's all divided, so you can click on a category and go get the scripts from there.
Awesome. Do you want to explain to people about Dough?
Yeah, it's IPA. I always call it an app, but it's not an app. It's a program. It's IPA, which is income producing activity. It's, for those that don't know what IPAs are, it's something that the great network leaders came up with, where it's your daily activities every day. So it's posting on Facebook, recruiting, like reaching out to potentials, following up with your customers. Like, there's different activities that you need to do every day, and it takes about 15 minutes. But this program has it all set up for you. So instead of writing a list or going through my Facebook friends list like I used to do, and then write down where I was at, write the name, so that when I come back, I knew where I was in the alphabetical order. It gives you 5 potential names, plus 1 customer and plus 1 ambassador to follow up. So every day I just open the program and I'm like, okay, I'm going to send a message to those 5 potentials, and then 1 to ambassador to follow up, and 1 helps you keep track too. Plus you can, log all of your activity, everything that you've sent them, everything that you've talked about. Plus what I love is that you can customize the number. So like if I want to follow up, if I want to reach out to 10 potentials or 7 potentials, I can change that. I can change it to 2 customers or 3 ambassadors, however many I want. Plus, I can go on the top and make my own list and say, okay, tomorrow or today I'm going to reach out to these people so that they're logged in. And then I'll ask you when you want to follow up. So you can put every week, every 3 months, every whatever. And there's like tons of other things too that you can do. I love it. I've been going through it like almost every day, and I find something new all the time. So I find it's an amazing thing. It keeps me on track, keeps me organized.
Yes.
Which I love. And I'm not staring at the screen thinking, okay, who do I send you today? Or who am I gonna, follow-ups is a bit easier because if I write them, they're in my book. But when it's potentials, it's like, sometimes I can't, if I don't see them on the Facebook feed and they're not talking about a pain point, then I don't know who to send it to.
Right. And sometimes what I found about it too is that you're reaching out to people that all you know is you need to reach out to this person and start a conversation with them. Whereas you're not, as long as that person, when they come up, you don't overthink it and you just reach out to them. You know what I mean? That conversation start. Whereas before, you might not ever see them on your Facebook because they'd be so lost in all your, I mean, I have 3,500 friends, so they get lost, right? So
exactly. And my problem was the following up. I would lose people all the time because I'd have to go through my messenger and I'd have so many messages that I'd be like, oh my God. And then I noticed sometimes months later, I would just go down. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't follow up with that person. I thought I wrote her name down. And I look in my list. I'm like, oh no, I forgot to write her down. Yeah. Then it's like kind of, okay, sorry, I forgot about you. You feel silly, but here you don't forget because it tells you every day you have to follow up with this person. And
well, you can also put when you want to follow up with them as well, and it will remind you, which is awesome. Like that that whole thing is awesome. Just
we're just going to be so smart, aren't we?
Organized.
Julie?
I will say, I need to say though, despite all the awesome features, do not use anything remotely close to the scripts for starting products that they've got there. They're completely ludicrous and crazy. Don't touch them. It's insane.
Okay.
Insane.
Really insane.
The other scripts are fine. No, like it says, oh, if you're a regular person, you're going to do this. Boom, start everything on day one. If you're a constipated person, do this. If you're a person with diarrhea, do that. Like, it's completely ludicrous. Don't touch the product scripts. They're crazy.
Wow. Okay. Well, does anybody else have any questions?
I have one. So tonight, my wife and I went out to see Cindy Whiteway and Gerald, who's our ambassador that signed up not long after we got involved. Mm-hmm. And one thing Cindy was telling us, I've been trying to get her to participate in the Sunday night session. She's a little bit shy that way. She'll find her comfort zone in her own time. But at any rate, one of the things she was talking about is getting past the having preconceived ideas about people. So in other words, people that she knows at her work who she feels would be really good for these products, but assuming right away, well, they're not going to be able to afford them, right? And this sort of thing. And so, you know, I there's always the two sides of it. There's the product part of it, of buying it as a consumer, and then there's the business side of it where, you know, just with a few customers of your own, it's pretty much covering your own products. How do you balance that? Like, how do you balance that when you're approaching someone new, between having a product that they might feel is expensive versus the business opportunity?
I always lead in with the business. Like when I'm talking to people, I'm always kind of threading that in my conversation. It might not be like very heavy, but definitely there's always the option of the business, and you don't have to do the business. You have 3 people that probably could use the products in your life, like, you know, and like you say, it doesn't take much to get your products paid for, right? And I think the other flip side of that is prejudging people who we think don't need the business, for example, right? So that you might see, I mean, we have lots of doctors and lawyers and, you know, all kinds of different high professions in our business that somebody probably prejudged them at first, but they actually did need the business because they hated their job, you know? So, or they saw that they had a mission with Plexus where they could help other people through Plexus and helping them financially. So I think prejudging it's probably a source of fear for a lot of people, of where you're just not sure how to approach that. I always just say, just don't judge anybody, because we really don't know somebody's situation. Like they might say they're financially strapped, or they might look like they're financially strapped, but maybe that's just how they live their life, right? But they're not actually financially strapped, or their priorities are in the different area maybe. So prejudging is really, really, it's something that we need to focus on not being, and just offer it, because you never know, it might be what they're looking for. So, and I think that in my mindset too is I always go at it that I know I have the very best for somebody and the very best intentions for somebody. And if somebody couldn't afford it and they went on my opinion that I would show them the business and things like that, I would work my hardest to show them, and help them. You know what I mean? So what they do with all that is their own personal choice too.
A couple of weeks. Oh, sorry, Melanie.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to mention, I think about 3 weeks ago, we had that session with Jess. I forget Jesse's last name.
Nelson.
Yeah. I think one of the most impactful things for me that he said was right near the beginning of when he was chatting, talking about what would $100 extra a month mean to you, or what would $200 extra a month. And for me, that was very impactful because I've seen a lot of businesses in the past that sell through MLM that talk about the boats and the cars and all this kind of stuff. But to me, that $100 or $200 extra a month or $500 extra a month, that seems to be more where people live.
Mm-hmm.
And, the fact they can go beyond that, great. But I think that has more impact on people today.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think your retention is better with that kind of always putting that out there to people when you're talking to people, because they can't even put their mind around, if they're like, having a struggling financially right now today, they really cannot even put their mind that they're going to be floating in a boat on a middle of Monday afternoon, living the high life next year. Like that just is
far away. Yeah.
Too far away. Right. But they could say, well, okay, I could look at how do I do $200? And then how do I do $5? Well, once they make $5, well, how do I do $7? Like it's layering the onion. And then you never know where they might talk to somebody that just absolutely blows up their business, right? So I think it's much more doable that way for sure. And $200.
Can I add something to that?
Absolutely.
I also do, because I learned that from Emily Roberts a long time ago. I'll also bring that up of, again, what can you make, like what $100 or $200 can bring to you, but also what can you cut out of your life that you don't really need, that Plexus will help you cut out, like coffee, junk food, restaurants, outings, because that's what me and Phil did when we first started, because we really wanted to do it. My husband had no income. He had no income the last year, so we were living on my one income, which wasn't much. And when we were approached, we were both feeling awful physically, and we wanted to try the product. So we sat down and said, okay, well, what can we cut out? So when we discovered, and that's when I discovered, I didn't know this, that my husband was drinking about 8 extra large Tim Hortons coffee a day. And I was like, oh my God, do you realize how much money that is? So I said, if you get Plexus and you can cut all that out, which he did in like little time, then look how much money we save. And then we were talking about junk food, chips that we ate every night. We went out to restaurants 2 or 3 times a night. We ordered takeout. So saving on all that, it makes them realize, oh, okay. Or even like energy drinks. I had people that drank a lot of energy drinks. Just stopping that was paying for their products. They were paying the same amount for that than they would for a triplex or a balance or whatever pack. So that's something else too that I'll go through with them also.
Yeah,
it has helped. Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, that's excellent. It's coincidentally, Cindy told me something very similar tonight. And what I find interesting is, people can talk about products and how well they work, and it's is this hype or what is it? But Cindy Whiteway, who has never attended one of these sessions and is very limited to what she knows so far, just from what she's read in the back office and stuff. She was talking to us tonight and said that every single day that she got up, she could not even start her day unless she had a coffee. And since she's been on the Slim, which has only been maybe a month, she's now a weekend coffee drinker. Like she doesn't drink any coffee through the week anymore.
Awesome.
And it's incredible. It's really incredible.
Yeah, that is really
really cool.
Yeah.
It's like me too. Diet Pepsi. I remember 6-pack of Diet Pepsi, those big 650 mils. I would buy them every week.
Wow.
So that was a lot of money too, and that was a lot of crap in my body. But yeah, stop that too. Once you realize everything that you're going to stop, it's worth taking the risk for that month or two, so that you know that you can cut all that down and save money. Plus, if you find 3 people, even better, then you get your products paid 2 for.
That's right. Yeah. So good. There's so much opportunity for people. Okay, so I was going to put a challenge out to everybody about seeing if you could bring on one ambassador in the next 4 days and get them those promo codes by maybe offering them a little incentive to join you, because I know we all have fence sitters, and then get them the promo codes. And next week we'll talk about how to work with your new people and to get them started into silver. And because you'll have hopefully some new team members, and they'll be starting and wanting to do their business with those new promo codes, and you're going to want to be ready to get them off rocking and rolling too. So let's see what kind of praise reports we can bring back next week. Challenge on?
Yes.
Challenge on. Let's do it.
Yay.
We can do it.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
That's Tom Builder.
Yes.
Cartoon. Yes, we can.
That's awesome. Well, what a great meeting. Thank you guys so much for showing up. I know it's a little late, but thank you so much. It's always so great to be with you guys.
Thank you.
Okay. See you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Have a great week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.